Let's bring in CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid, who is joining us now from Washington. All right, Paula, lots to talk through. Walk us through the very latest. What options does the Attorney General have right now?
He has several legal options, but politically, he really only has one option. I would be very surprised if we get to the end of the day without a recusal here. Legally, he doesn't have to step aside from the case. He can continue to be the nation's top law enforcement official overseeing DOJ and FBI and thus this investigation. He can also recuse himself, and then he would essentially take a step to the side, hand leadership of the case off to the Deputy Attorney General. The other option is to hand the whole case off to an independent body. But at this point, it seems that his leadership in this case, Vlad, it's just unsustainable. He either has to recuse himself or appoint some sort of independent body.
So, Paula, walk us through this. If Sessions does recuse himself, what happens next?
Well, it's a little complicated right now because we don't actually have a confirmed Deputy Attorney General. We have an acting Deputy Attorney General, Dana Bente. He is our former acting Attorney General. He's a placeholder until the nominated Attorney General is confirmed. Now, that nominee is expected to appear before a committee next Tuesday. The way it would work is if Sessions, for example, recused himself today, Deputy Attorney General Bente would get the case for a few days and then pass it off. So it would essentially stay with that office of the Deputy Attorney General, but certainly a unique circumstance in which to recuse.
Paula, Democrats like Nancy Pelosi are making the case that Sessions should resign because he perjured himself in front of Congress. I want to play for you and our viewers what Sessions had to say during his confirmation hearing back in January, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
If there is any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government in the course of this campaign, what will you do?
Senator Franken, I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have communications with the Russians, and I'm unable to comment on it.
So it's interesting, Paula, during her comments to the press just moments ago, Nancy Pelosi was asked about the moment where former President Bill Clinton and then Attorney General Loretta Lynch met on a plane tarmac where they say that they talked about their grandchildren. She said it was completely coincidental. Here you have the Attorney General who was at the time a surrogate of the Trump campaign and then in this confirmation hearing. So we're not lawyers, but you are. How can it be proven that Sessions committed perjury?
I think perjury is going to be a really difficult thing to prove here. I mean, he was really parsing his words there. Well, in the context of the campaign, you've seen their subsequent statements and the follow-ups. They're really trying to square it on, look, you asked us if we had discussed anything about the campaign. Now, people who argue he was perjuring himself argue, well, you were one of the senior advisors to the campaign. You were always part of the campaign. But it does seem at this point that really proving perjury in that particular statement, that particular exchange, that's going to be a really high bar. The bigger problem here is Attorney General Sessions has only been in office for 3 weeks, and people are already calling for his resignation. That's a big problem. That's really not a great way to start your tenure at the Department of Justice.
Well, I want to ask you, Senator Schumer came out saying that he would actually, his first choice would be to have the deputy step in. Walk us through that. Who is this person and exactly what was he talking about?
Well, like I said, we don't have a real deputy, a confirmed Deputy Attorney General right now. So we have an interim, Dana Bente. He is a career prosecutor, very well respected throughout the Department of Justice. He would essentially have the case for 3-4 days, maybe a week, until the nominee is actually confirmed. Now, the nominee, the former current U.S. Attorney in the state of Maryland, he is also very well respected, a career person, someone, I believe he's the longest serving U.S. Attorney in the United States. Also someone who doesn't have a lot of political baggage and would hopefully be able to take the case and handle it in a nonpartisan way. But we're in this really crazy situation because he doesn't really have the person that he would hand it off to standing next to him. He has a temporary placeholder, if you will, until that nominee is confirmed.
Lots of shades of gray here.
Absolutely. To be continued, our Paula Reid in Washington. Paula, thank you.